So welcome to the world of auto search. I think we have been spending lots of time in manual search. Whenever we need something, we go on Google, we go on Bing, we go on Yahoo, and we open up search bars and we start searching things. But I think moving forward, we have so much of data on our devices, we have so much of application on our devices, and it's just not browser. You have SMS, MMS, email, IMs, social networking, and lots of other apps you're downloading. So where can we use that context of the applications and start discovering things for the consumers in a very real-time way? Can we start personalizing search results for the consumers based on the context? So tomorrow, if I'm sending an SMS to Mohit, Mohit, I'm in Delhi, I'm having a good coffee. So can I discover things on coffee in a very real-time fashion without really asking Mohit to go and search for coffee? So, and when I say web discovery, it could be audios, videos, deals, discounts, coupons, images, anything you talk about over web, just like manual search. So, as I said, welcome to the world of auto search, and we are the inventors of auto search. As a company, we are primarily an auto search company where we discover things for consumers in real time across their apps and contents, primarily based on one or multiple keywords across those applications. We use this search technology and supplement with advertisement revenues so that it's a business model in a sustainable fashion, both for OEMs, operators, and we as a company. We are a pretty young company, founded in 2010, pretty disruptive in nature, pretty innovative technology, and that's how we have got a very strong traction from worldwide OEMs and operators for this technology. We are a team of 25 people, but we are quickly expanding to 50 to cater to our all customers worldwide. And we're already working with tier 1 OEMs and operators worldwide. Few disruptive trends. I'm not going to spend lots of time on this again. We already saw the cost of devices going very low, the margins going very low. For operators, lots of regulations, policies, licenses, marketing, consumer acquisition, devices, investment infrastructure, lots of heavy cost. The cost of data again going down, the cost of voice going down, little monetization avenue. So if Reliance sells a tablet on Android, Google makes money on Android, but Reliance makes probably money on data and only on hardware. But lots of supplementary revenues which Google makes, for example, advertisement on search, advertisement on maps, or whatever we talk about, those all revenues goes to Google. But OEMs or operators typically fail to get the revenue part of that. Advertisers typically shying away from non-contextual advertisements. We've seen not lots of in-app advertisements, but most of them it's uncontextual in nature, pretty intrusive to consumers, and that's how the CTRs are less. So even though advertisers feel that mobility is a big device or tablet is a big device for advertisement, the returns on advertisement from those kind of advertisements are very less. So looking for typical contextual advertisements, and search engine has been the only proven model from an advertisement revenues perspective because it was primarily contextual in nature. Second thing, information content discovery. As we're talking about, millions of applications, Apple App Store having hundreds of millions of applications, many of time those contents and apps goes undiscovered, for a consumer. I really don't have time to go and find out what apps or, content makes sense for me. But what if I can discover information, contents, and apps for a consumer in a real-time way based on what they're talking about, right? So OEMs problems again, primarily, I think as we moving, further and further, the dumbness of the pipe is really getting very concrete in nature, right? I mean, devices are getting out. The cost of devices, again, as I said, is very less. The data revenues are going low. I mean, today, if you see the factor from voice to data, it's around 8 times. The data are specifically, expensive as 8 times as of data, voice. But it's going to drastically come down if you want to really penetrate data more and more across various other regions. So basically, once that goes down, the margins, overall margins on the huge infrastructure for operators becomes less. And at the same time, the OSs are coming from different players. So the monetization of those OSs in terms of app stores, in terms of apps, in terms of advertisements, in terms of any other contents or services, those are typically going to all other OS providers. So essentially, many of the OEMs and operators are not having the great monetization opportunity once the device is sold. Apart from an operator perspective, it's pure data or voice. From OEM perspective, it's pure hardware, nothing else. Ad networks, we have seen many ad networks, local and global, which has come out, and most of the advertisement revenues are going and stretched out and extended to ad network companies. So again, operators and OEMs are not really making any money out of the advertisement revenue. And we know advertisement revenues are one of the big pie of overall business model or business opportunity moving forward, because $150 billion is a massive marketing opportunity by 2015 in overall online advertisement world. No keyword-based advertisement model or no keyword-based discovery model. Browser or search has been the primary keyword-based, I would say ecosystem till now which exists, but it is not extended across apps and contents. When I talk about SMS, MMS, emails, chatting, any other apps you download, there is no platform which exists today which can do keyword recognition across apps and contents in a very independent way. So what I mean by that independence is, even if somebody sells a device, so let's say if you work with an OEM and when the device is sold and if consumer is downloading thousands of application contents on the device, can we still do keyword recognition in a very independent way without really bothering to tie with an app publisher or developer or asking him to use my APIs or asking him to give your APIs so that I can do some contextual recognition. So there is no technology which exists today which can do keywords recognition, one or more keywords across apps and contents in a very independent way. So as I said, losing to, again, from challenges perspective, demand for free information contents and apps have really gone huge. I think even though we saw there are huge market stores, there are billion-dollar opportunities, but the fact remains 70 to 75% of apps are free. 70 to 75% downloads percentage of users are free applications and not the premium applications. So the demand for free services, demand for free contents, demand for free apps is going huge. In that case, again, how do you monetize? So the question still remains, how does operators and OEMs monetize? From a long time, we have not seen a very innovative VAS model which can actually give a very huge market opportunity in a sustainable fashion. Music downloads, video downloads, it's a one-time revenue, it's not a recurring revenue like caller back ringtones or things like that. So one-time revenues do exist, but on a recurring business model point of view, there are no significant innovation in VAS which has happened. And as I said, high cost of infrastructure. Advertisers, I'm going to quickly skip this, but the problem today to advertisers is if I want to become contextual in nature, I have to go to a specific publisher. For example, if I want to become contextual to Facebook, I have to work with Facebook. If I want to become contextual to Google, I have to work with Google. But there is no platform which exists today which can give contents, which can give context across apps and contents, so that this becomes one unified platform for advertiser. And he says, I don't care. This gives me access to Facebook, Google, or any other application, whether it's SMS, MMS, email, or any other app which consumer downloads. So this gives me across context of across apps and contents. It could be even PDF file or ebook reader. So it gives me across unified context, across apps, so which is something which does not exist today. So here comes the innovation of auto search. So as I said, it's a keyword recognition technology. What it does is, in a very independent way, it grabs and recognizes keywords across different apps and contexts. Here are a few examples. It could be Google search, it could be Facebook, could be IM, could be SMS, and could be any other app you talk about on this planet. It does keyword recognition across those apps and contents without any kind of API interface, without using any kind of software development kit, without tying up with any kind of publisher or that particular app developer, And everything is real time. Once the keyword is recognized, so if you see over here, Google search example, if you types about social, if you see the split screen model, so that's another patented product technology from us, where the things get delivered for you in a very real-time way. So you talk about social and things will get discovered for you in a real-time fashion based on the network latencies. So this is how it typically works. Any app, the keywords are recognized across apps, ebooks, PDF, any kind of textual contents, any kind of ads, deals, e-commerce, or search results in case of audios, videos gets discovered in that particular user interface, which is a split screen model. And then we have an auto search model where we provide search icon across device. So similar to you have battery strength or network strength or date and time which appears in notification bar. So we provide a search icon in the bar where when you click on that, it grabs all the keywords in a very automated fashion and start discovering things for you in real time from audios, videos, images, deals, discounts, anything. And this does not require any kind of plugin. So if the keywords are getting recognized through browser, for example, it does not require any plugin. So today if you see, the only way the browser context is taken is through a cookie or through a plugin, right? Either you write a new plugin, put it in a browser. If it's a Firefox, you put a plugin, you put a cookie for, let's say, Chrome. So that's the only way, but this does not require any kind of plugin or cookie for browser perspective, and from application perspective, does not require any kind of API integration. Click keyword. So this is a new, completely disruptive consumer experience for all the device users. And we have seen lots of innovation happening about how things can be personalized. And I think Siri was one of the great example where you speak about something and things will be discovered for you. So this is a great technology where we have so much of data, we don't have time to really go and speak in Siri and then find out, because we are so much busy today, and we're also getting lazy at the same point. But when you see data on your screen, what you have to do is just click or touch the keyword on that particular screen. So essentially, any app becomes a browser for you. Any app becomes a web discovery for you. So if you're seeing a message from somebody and say, I like coffee, you just click on coffee and things will get discovered for you. And when it's discovery, it could be, as I said, it could be deals, discounts, coupons, audios, videos, images, any other contents, or either public tweets or Facebook or SMS, right? So anything which is contextual will get discovered for you just on a touch of a keyword on the screen. Pretty disruptive. Auto search, as I said, the whole discovery through this auto keyword recognition or through click or touch keyword recognition is all automatic discovery of web. You don't have to go and do a manual search now. So what you see on the screen, either you enable auto keyword recognition or you just click or touch it. That's it. And this brings the whole world of auto search with so much of data coming in, with so much of apps coming in, with so much of browsing we are doing. I think we don't need to really go and search unless it's very specific to go and search out something specific in the manual search engine. Wherever you find any other information you want to get to know, you just click or touch it or just to enable auto search. So this is what I talk about auto search. This is the search icon in the blue color, if you can see on the top, what we provide across the application like a network strength or battery strength. When you click on that, it picks up all the keywords and discovers search results for you if you see in the three screens at the bottom of the slide. Contextual connected experience. I think the multi-screen experience is really evolving. I think we are now owning a smartphone, we are also owning a tablet, we are also owning a smart TV, we are also owning an IPTV. So we have multi-devices with us we are using across our usage. So our technology helps not only deliver the search results or contextual discovery on the same device, but it also helps to deliver those results on your device what you're logged in. So for example, if two devices, a smartphone and a tablet, has been logged in using our technology, we know on the back end of our server there is the same user logged in on the two devices. We take context from one device and deliver results on the other device. An example, you're sitting on a couch, you're texting somebody, I'm watching Britney, so relevant videos and audios or any other web can be discovered on your smart TV. If your smart TV is on, you're logged in on that particular system. Overall, so we provide end-to-end solution. We are just not pure device-side technology because there are lots of OEMs who don't have this kind of ecosystem. There are lots of operators who don't have this ecosystem in terms of search or discovery or ad management or and similar kind of ecosystem. So we provide entire end-to-end solution for an operator or for OEM, either managed and hosted by them or managed and hosted by us as a cloud solution. At the same time, to maximize the revenues, when the technology is deployed on a device, it enables keyword-based bidding for other ad network companies. So tomorrow, if a bigger ad network company sees that there is a potential flurry of keywords from hundreds of millions of phones with whom we are deployed on, they come and start bidding on this particular platform. So that gives them, that gives OEM and operator to an opportunity to maximize the revenues as opposed to working with a single ad network company. So there could be three ad network companies who are willing to pay $1 for that same keyword, some other ad network willing to pay $2. So in real time the bidding happens and the one who bids highest gets the maximum, gets the impression on the device for that particular keyword, and hence the OEM operator makes the largest amount of money. So this is how the real-time bidding platform, there is no innovation real-time bidding platform per se, it remains same as what we see today as well.
Would you like to take questions now?
Sorry, yes.
No, your time is over actually.
I'm sorry.
So in terms of the market acceptability, would you like to share? Because it's your 1-year-old company.
So we are essentially a year-and-a-half-old company. We have got really strong traction. From an NDA perspective, I may not be able to share with you the exact customer names, but we are working with tier 1 OEMs and operators worldwide.
How many in terms of numbers?
Well, from an customer number perspective, we are working with almost 3 largest phone manufacturers and tablet manufacturers worldwide. In terms of deployment from commercialization, we are looking at around 100 million deployments by end of this year.
100 million users.
Terminal devices. And we have a pretty large revenue stream model. Basically, the entire business model is to make OEMs and operators giving more and more control over their devices, which they're losing now. So we work on a rev share model, and from our perspective, it's a recurring business model because the keywords don't stop on the device, the data does not stop on device, it keeps on going on. So we do a rev share. For us also it's a sustainable model, and for operators, OEMs also it is a pretty large monetization avenue. And then we work with search engine providers. There have been business models where lots of search engines have made their, sometimes browsers or their own search engine as a default search engine. For example, Firefox worked out with Google and said, if you want to make Google as a default search engine in my browser, you have to pay me $300 million, and that's what happened. So we have the similar business models. We're working with some of the largest search engine providers. I may not be able to disclose any details, but at the end of the year, we're looking to get that business model in place as well. Purely based on the volumes, because the volumes is a very important game for any search engine provider to become a default search engine with us. But the volumes are really high because all of the OEMs and operators are looking to have a recurring business model, first of all, and second, new killer features. So our click or touch based, click or touch a keyword on a screen is already touted as the next killer feature and must have on every device.
This is patent pending.
This is patent pending, yeah. We
This
have
can be
got.
copied also.
Sorry.
Copied also by your competition.
Copied.
Can they use it? Without a license agreement with you.
Well, in that scenario, legally, anyone can go and copy anything, right? Until somebody really goes into litigation, right? So from that perspective, we are getting backed up by some of the largest venture capitalist companies. And at the same time, most of our papers have already got published that ways on international level, on national level as well. And we have NDAs with our OEMs as well. So as long as our strategy was pretty straightforward to have tie-ups with largest manufacturers in place, so that we get in the first phase itself, and that's what we have done. And I think once we are in, we have NDAs in place, we are getting our contracts in place with them. So I think the copy might not be a problem, an issue for now, but legally nobody can stop that.
Unless you've got enough built-in intelligence.
Absolutely, yes. So I think if you see, because when we started purely as an advertisement company. We saw, can we use keywords and start delivering pure advertisements? And that's how we expanded our portfolio in terms of auto search. We added click or touch keyword kind of scenarios, which really makes it more, attractive to the OEMs and operators in a longer term. And most of the OEMs, they don't have this kind of ecosystem in place in terms of bidding platforms for ad networks, search engine providers, local search providers. So we're trying to build that ecosystem. So it's kind of an open system for OEMs who cannot do that.
No, but that is all about new devices which would be marketed.
Absolutely.
Now. But what about those devices which are already in use? How do you?
Yeah, which is very right. We are actually targeting only new devices because we see there are two things coupled to that. One thing is we are seeing flurry of new devices anyway entering in the market. So we see ourselves as the best positioner at this point of time. The growth of smartphones in terms of feature phone plus smartphones is drastically high. That's one thing. And second thing is for existing phones, wherever there is a firmware upgrade possible, for example, some of the Symbian phones, some of the Symbian phones, Android phones, there we support the existing phones as well.
Thank you.
So you're offering multilingual basically, right?
We offer international languages and local languages as well.
So your offering is basically analytics for the phone manufacturer, for the vendors, right? Your prime business model.
No, we are not a business analytics company per se.
But that's to offer them the data.
That's I think from an OEM's perspective, we are primarily a revenue-making company for them. Our primary business model is revenues through advertisements, supplemented or non-supplemented on auto search results. That's how the revenue is coming for us and for our OEMs. From an operator perspective, there are certain operators who wants to have more of data analytics in the background. So we have DPIs right now. But the problem with DPIs is, it does not give you across apps. It does not know from which app it is coming in. And there's so much of data which comes in suddenly in their backend, which makes their infrastructure very costly. Operators are spending tens of millions of dollars on that. Very simplified technologies gets deployed on a device. They can entirely safeguard their costs. I'm not saying it's a replacement for DPI because DPI has its own advantages as well. But this gives them opportunity on a large data to compress on the device.
Thank you.
Thank you.